Okay,
Hello.
so this is another experimental type video.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We're going to look at some questions that we've got. So we'll look at some of the scores that you've given, maybe the highest and the lowest, so we can get a good kind of overview of what you've thought of the classic series as well.
Sure.
When did we finish Survival?
Sometime in March.
It was about, for us now, a month ago.
A month, maybe, give or take.
Never had a good month to kind of let things settle down.
Absolutely.
So hopefully you've been enjoying quiz stuff.
Yeah.
Dimensions in Time has probably gone up by now.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So we've had some questions that have come in.
Okay.
A lot of the same questions mostly. After Classic Who is done, as far as you can recall, which stories have you two had the most difference of opinions on?
Yes. Right.
So which ones have we disagreed on? So this is someone trying to get us to fight to the death, apparently.
Well, recently, kind of with Ghostlight.
Okay.
I mean, you were talking about how much you love it. After seeing it like 4 or 5 times, I struggled with watching it due to how it was done.
Yeah, it is one of my favourites.
It's one of... Yes.
But weirdly enough, I don't think I disagree with you, because I agree with all of the points you're making.
Well, you said you felt that way at the beginning.
It's just that I've had time to process it all over multiple watches.
Know what's actually happening.
I don't think it's really a disagreement.
I don't know. Well, I spent most of the time like paying attention to it.
Anything else? I went through the scores.
Right.
For all the stories we've given. And I just noted down there was only 4 I could find where the score difference was more than 3. So Ghostlight was one of them.
Can I look there?
Yeah, you can look now.
Okay.
Ghostlight was one of them.
Yeah.
And going backwards, Image of the Fendel. This was another one that I gave a good score to.
And I didn't.
And you didn't.
Yeah, I don't remember liking it that much. I think I thought it was just alright, maybe.
So what you said about it at the time was they got everything right, but apart from making it coherent. And you gave it a 4 out of 10.
Okay.
And I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll discuss that anymore here, but we do have a reaction video of that one.
Yeah.
The other one I mentioned, Revenge of the Cybermen. So this was actually the opposite way round, where you enjoyed it and I didn't.
Yeah, right. It was kind of a follow-up to the Ark in Space, in a way.
Yeah.
A good, solid story, and there was nothing about it that I really disliked, I don't think. It was just, I just liked it, and I was surprised when you were like, I really don't like this.
Yeah, it is one of my least favourite Toms. Yeah.
I didn't like I didn't like the voices, though.
Yeah, that's the thing you didn't like about it.
The more recent ones stick in my mind, but...
Excellent. I always like it when people do like things that I don't like.
Sure.
Because that gives them a kind of validation, I suppose. But yeah.
Do you not get on with slower paced stuff, then?
No, it depends on the pace. There's a sweet spot. There is such a thing as too quickly paced as well.
Yeah.
Right. But I love the old Quatermass stuff, which is slow. I like the black and white Doctor Who. There's some slow stuff there. It depends if it's slow paced, but if that slow pace is actually doing something.
Yeah.
If it's doing tension building, if it's doing character building, if there's a reason for it, fine. And the last one I wrote down is The Chase.
Really?
Yeah, I was surprised by this one when we looked at the list. And maybe my opinion changed now, but I was the one that didn't like it.
You did? That's still... No, actually, I'm quite surprised by that. A 5?
But I gave it a 5.
I mean...
I think it is just a real mixed bag of stuff, isn't it? There is some points of it that are very good, but... I think I find it a bit all over the place between the Haunted House, New York, the Mary Celeste for some reason, that weird planets, the mechanoids. It just kind of goes... I think it's a bit messy.
And Morton Dill.
Yeah.
Morton Dill. That... Okay, that... As much as I love that scene, I can understand how that might be a little bit at odds with like the Daleks and everything.
Yeah.
You know, and him seeing like the TARDIS disappearing and the Daleks coming through. Yeah, it can be. I guess you can see that as a little bit out of place. But I don't know. On the other hand, I kind of enjoyed the variety of it.
No, yeah.
You know, seeing the Daleks and the Doctor like going through all these different points in time. You know,
Sure.
That's what Doctor Who sort of is, and so I really enjoyed just seeing all the different places they go. And I remember really liking the bit on the Santa Maria was the boat. Yeah.
The Mary Celeste.
Mary Celeste, whatever. Why was I thinking of Santa Maria? I don't know.
what Santa Maria is. Is that
it's
a
a
place?
scene in School of Rock where they talk about it.
What are you thinking of that?
I don't know why it just came into my head.
Okay.
Okay, Mary Celeste. I remember liking that scene.
Oh yeah, the one where all the innocent people jump off the ship and drown. Yeah, you like that scene?
No,
That's a nice scene. I don't know. The tone of it just seems off to me.
really?
As well,
okay.
yeah.
Well, I mean, it's been a while. I don't know what I would think of it if I were to watch again, but I do have positive memories of it.
No, sure. And it's the last bit. I think a lot of people are not a fan of Ian and Barbara's leaving, but I quite like it actually. It's, as I say, mixed. It's a kind of a mixed bag, so I think that's why I gave it 5. I stick by that.
I think I'm. Yeah, I don't know. I would say I'm mixed on that. I guess for them to just be like, well, we've had a lovely time. Let's go, you know. And then, but then of course there's a scene where obviously the Doctor is like against it.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, that's quite.
Yeah, William Hartnell's great.
Yeah, that's quite
scene.
something.
It may well be different if we were watching them independently.
Yeah.
I know I certainly enjoy some stories more watching them with you.
Right.
More often than the other way around.
Okay.
Okay, that's question 1, and it's only taken us 10 minutes. At this rate, we'll be here for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Are you going to watch Doctor Who the movie after this season?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, we are.
Not straight away. We've not watched it as of yet, but we are planning on doing that soon.
Absolutely.
Are you going to react to the new series?
No, we're done. Of course we are. Of course we're going to. Yes.
Yeah. So I have seen all of the new series. I've always kept up with it. Live if possible. You...
Right, okay, I'll talk about
Well, this is the next question. Has your
Oh.
brother watched any of the modern series?
Ah, perfect.
Do you want to... I'll let you...
Okay, so our introductions to Doctor Who were mostly because of the new series. Yeah, I'm
As
younger
well.
than you, and so I didn't really get into it as much. I found it a bit too much to handle, some of them, especially the David Tennant stuff. And I have memories of, like, the stories from those first few years, some of them, but I've not really seen them at all recently.
So, from my experience, you've had kind of patchwork memories.
Yes.
Where you remember a specific thing, but you don't know what episode it's from.
No.
It's just an image in your mind of a thing that's happened in Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And you're fairly sure it's the new series.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Those magazines, those Doctor Who Adventures
Yeah.
things, I used to read those.
Yeah, we know we know the modern series comic books a little
Yeah.
bit. You do. I guess that's the story of how we got into Doctor Who. We heard it was coming back, and then we got shown Genesis of the Daleks, and that
Was that our first class?
that was both of our first ever Doctor Who stories. Was Genesis of the Daleks,
Okay.
and I think we both enjoyed that more than anything that we'd seen in the new series. Tended to stick to those few John Pertwee stories that we had on DVD.
Yeah, that was basically my Doctor Who childhood.
Yeah.
Rewatching some of my favourites of those, and I remember getting the Dalek Invasion of Earth for my birthday.
Yeah.
The DVD, and that, yeah, I remember just really loving that one.
And this nicely links into our next question. Where are all your early reactions? Where could I watch all of the early ones? We didn't film them.
No, we did not film any of the William Hartnell or Patrick Troughton because we didn't have the idea to do reactions.
Yeah,
We just...
it just wasn't a thing that we knew about at that point. We didn't do a lot of John Pertwee and a lot of Tom Baker because we'd already seen a lot of those stories.
Yeah. Especially John.
Especially the John Pertwee ones. And also because we didn't have enough time. I was away at uni.
Yeah.
For that whole year, so we weren't even together for a long time.
Yeah.
So I didn't have time to film anything.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we actually have the time now to do them. Our channel's great for people who love Peter Davison and onwards.
Yeah, there's plenty of other people.
Yeah, we've done the complete range from there. But yeah, I mean, it would have been cool to have the reactions to those earlier stories, but we just didn't have the idea. We could definitely go back to the ones we missed and, yeah, come in with a sort of caught-up perspective.
Yeah, it wouldn't be anytime soon, mind.
No, yeah, we've got a few other things to do before.
Yeah. Okay, so what else I thought would be fun for this video? Because some people have been asking us to look at, like, other people's rankings of things.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that would make such a good video. So instead, what I thought we'd do is look at our rankings and just talk about our favourites, or your favourites, and least favourites from each Doctor. Starting with the first Doctor.
Yes.
Your highest score is the only 10 out of 10. Dalek Invasion of Earth.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, one of the stories that I remember watching a lot when I was younger. I was just so, like, impressed with the scale of it for being so early in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got an incredible cast of characters. Many of them, most if not all of them, are memorable in some way. We could do a whole video just talking about Dalek Invasion of Earth.
Yeah.
But not now.
I agree, yeah. Your review, extremely impressive. It is probably the biggest story up until, well, for most of the first Doctor's era, I'd say.
I really love how, even though it's set in the future, it still feels kind of... Obviously, because of limitations, it couldn't look too futuristic, and a lot of it was location, but, you know, it's got just enough that it does feel like a future, but it's still relatable.
And coming down from that, your least favourite...
Oh, yeah.
William Hartnell story. And your least favourite Doctor Who story is...
The Web Planet.
The Web Planet.
0 out of 10.
I really didn't expect it to be anything else.
Oh, goodness me. You know, you said in a video that the main crew, the Doctor and the companions, always make a story somewhat watchable.
Yeah.
I disagree in the Web Planet. They have nothing to do. They don't say anything. They wander around for... Hold on.
6 times 20.
Oh, for goodness sake. Yes. Why
Nearly 3 hours.
Nearly 3 hours. Annoying creatures, and it just looks cheap, and it's unbearable. My only memory of it is how much we hated watching it.
So just very quickly, my least favourite is also the Web Planet, although I gave it a 1 out of 10 instead of a 0. My favourite is probably the Time Meddler.
Okay.
I really like the Time Meddler. Short, really interesting storyline, bit of comedy, historical. Peter Butterworth, excellent. Douglas Camfield directing, spot on.
Yeah.
Love it.
It was the first time we got to see other Time Lords aside from the Doctor and Susan.
Although they weren't called Time Lords, they were just, you're another of my people.
Yeah, but that's what I'm getting at. We know they're Time Lords now, even if back then they didn't have that figured out, but it's still interesting to see someone else.
Yeah. Vicky and Stephen are an underrated duo. The moment where they both walk into the monk's TARDIS, like, what? Genuinely great moment. One of the best moments, I think, what's one of the underrated cliffhangers. When you see your, like, top cliffhangers in Doctor Who, this never appears for some reason.
Right.
It absolutely goes up there. So your favourite second Doctor story. So you gave a lot of 10 out of 10s.
Yeah. Of what we've seen from the second Doctor, my highest praise lies here.
This is your favourite era.
Seeds of Death, I don't know. I remember really enjoying that story, but for some reason I keep thinking, is it a 10?
Between Tomb of the Cybermen,
The Invasion and the War Games. Oh my gosh.
That's 3 strong stories.
I mean, Tomb is probably the most concise of the 3. It's the less grand epic, so it's more sort of focused, I suppose.
Yep.
This is so difficult. I would probably say Tomb.
Tomb of the Cybermen. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that I remember things down to the name of the main villain, Eric Klieg.
It's really stuck in your memory.
Yeah. It's classic, it's simple, it's very memorable.
Yeah.
The scene where the Cybermen emerge.
And your least favourite, and this is tricky because there's no bad scores here.
Yeah. Crotons?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought that was a pretty good story. Yeah, no major complaints, but nothing particularly great.
Yeah, I think that's probably reasonable.
I liked it. It was Robert Holmes' first.
It was Robert Holmes' first one, yeah. In fact, I'd probably say it is my least favourite Troughton, probably tied with the Dominators as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and since you said the Tomb of the Cybermen was your favourite Troughton story, I'll go with the Invasion.
Okay.
You mentioned the other 2. Set up for the entire Jon Pertwee era. Best the Cybermen have ever been, I think.
Okay, sure.
Excellent villain. Predicting the future. Predicting Apple, pretty much.
But yeah, Unit are great in this. I mean...
Brigadier, it's just... Oh, there's something so nostalgic about it.
Yeah, Invasion's excellent, absolutely. I can't really disagree with you on why you like it, because I agree with you pretty much entirely. But yeah...
There's a theme here, I'm picking the Douglas Cumfield ones.
Yeah. Would you say this is... So basically the way I feel about Dalek Invasion, you feel about Invasion?
Yes, I think...
And they both have Invasion in the title.
Yeah. So, Third Doctor...
Carnival of Monsters.
You didn't even have to think about that one.
No, I mean, as much as I love Ambassadors, that, again, would be the second place choice, obviously. But... I love them almost as much as each other, but Carnival of Monsters definitely takes the number 1 spot. When I was younger, that was the story that I sort of came back to the most, at least I think, anyway. Something nostalgic about it for me.
Yeah.
Just the really unique, I guess, the unique sort of wacky designs of the future and the characters,
It's definitely wacky. Such great ideas.
It's so creative and so funny as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has everything.
And your least favourite Jon Pertwee?
Monster of Peladon.
Yeah.
Boring. Yeah, it was mostly just boring. I mean, it was a follow-up to The Curse of Peladon, which I wasn't that big into. I didn't really think much of that one. A sequel that doesn't improve upon it, for me, is obviously not going to go that well.
Its problem is that it feels and has a very similar plot to The
Exactly.
Curse of Peladon,
And that...
but is 2 parts longer.
Yeah. And that character that, is it the way it talked? Or just
Alpha Centauri.
Alpha Centauri? Hate it. I cannot I
agree that it's probably my least favourite Jon Pertwee story.
Absolutely.
I don't mind the Alpha Centauri character. I just think it's very, very boring.
Yeah. I mean, most of the Third Doctor stories are really good.
I would put my favourite Jon Pertwee story at Inferno.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean it's a fan favourite. There's not much else I need to say about it.
Yeah,
really.
No, it's fantastic. Yeah.
Right, Fourth Doctor. Big old era coming up here.
It's a very close tie, I'd say, between Androids and City.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, Talons of Weng Chiang I also loved. That was another great Robert Holmes story. You had but obviously that was set in the past, and so I loved that atmosphere. City of Death, Douglas Adams, hilarious, fun, just absolute blast from beginning to end, non-stop wit. Duggan's hilarious as well.
This is one we do have a reaction for. You will see at some point in that. I'm pretty sure I have to ask if you're alright, because you're laughing so hard.
This is your favourite story from the classic era.
Yes,
You've gone on record
is.
saying that. It does also have a very intriguing storyline.
Oh, yeah. The Mona
absolutely.
Lisas, those coming out, that's a cliffhanger.
Yeah, the use of paintings, the fact that it's obviously set in France as well. It's a bit of a change from
the
sort of standard UK street. They really make the most of the location.
They really do.
Yeah. Yeah, and then close second, Androids of Tara.
Your least favourite Tom story. We've already spoken about mine, Revenge of the Cybermen.
Yeah.
Yours.
Now, the Web Planet is horrible, but the Invasion of Time is my least favourite because it disappointed me the most.
Right, okay.
It's, yeah, the first few parts are slow and weird, but you think it's building up to something, and then, Subterrans! What are they doing here? Complete surprise, and there's 2 more parts, and then it just continues to be the same way. It's weird, nothing happens, and you realise that you just wasted 3 hours of your life watching this.
At least with the Web Planet, when you're watching it, you know that you're wasting your time.
But you can shut it off.
Yeah.
If you can sense it's not going anywhere, you can just be like, you know what, I'm done. But Invasion of Time for 4 parts, I was like, okay, where's this going? Where's this going? Whoa, sometimes, where's this going? It's going nowhere. Rubbish. A scam is what this is. It's just... Oh, I hate it. Can't believe it. And then, of course...
We've got this all on record of you slowly being, like, more and more.
Yeah.
Like, what?
And
what?
Leela's exit is...
Yeah, that really upset you.
Stupid.
Alright, moving on to the 5th Doctor's era.
Yeah.
Your favourite story?
Another really tough one. Because the 5 Doctors is a wonderful tribute. But it is Earthshock.
Okay.
Because it just completely... emotionally and physically destroyed me, pretty much. It was one of the first to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course the surprise of seeing the Cybermen again after so long. It had a lot of great action.
Very well
The
made.
triple sort of corridor
Yeah.
thing of the Cybermen emerging. And finally giving Adric some worthy character moments, which I was happy about. Ends on a very sad note, which definitely left an impact, and I think...
Literally. A big crater. So moving on to your least favourite. Well, your lowest score was Black Orchid, but...
Yeah, but Time Flight has some really stupid stuff in it.
Yeah.
So I think that might be the least favourite.
Okay.
I have a very healthy respect for the Doctor. Go down in history as one of my favourite bad lines. Or for what it represents. And of course the Master reveal kind of thing was kind of unnecessary, you know. And you can see in the reaction, I'm like, wait, what? What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I completely agree. It's my least favourite joint Doctor Who.
Sure.
My joint least favourite Doctor Who story.
Yeah. I mean, I say I don't hate it as much. If I was to watch it again and sort of see more of the cracks, maybe I would.
So my favourite Peter Davison story, to no one's surprise, is The Caves of Androzani.
Yes.
This is as close as we got to killing you.
It is.
So 6th Doctor then.
Right.
Your highest is a 7.5.
Yeah.
Which would be the 2 Doctors, so we're going to have to pick that.
Yeah, that was a really, really good story. Obviously seeing 2nd Doctor and Jamie again was great. Compared to Caves of Androzani, it felt more like a Robert Holmes story. It wasn't really what I like about his work, which is the humour and the satire.
Right.
And the 2 Doctors definitely had that. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And yeah, great. Yeah, you had a really good double act as well, a good cast overall.
Oh yeah, I'd have to agree with you. 2 Doctors is probably my favourite 6th Doctor story.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're quite outliers there, though. A lot of people wouldn't pick that.
No.
It's a mostly very strong season, actually. Apart from both of our least favourites, which would be...
Time Lash.
Time Lash.
Oh, boy.
It's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah. Unlike Web Planet and Invasion of Time, this is one that was just really bad. Like, just where you just don't know what happened. Yeah, no story, really. Horrible dialogue. Unpleasant journey. doing H.G. Wells a huge disservice.
Yeah, he's much the actor playing doing Unpleasant Journey.
Yes.
He's much better as Avon, isn't he?
Absolutely.
He's so much better as Avon.
Definitely, yeah.
Alright, moving on.
Yeah, we don't need to say any more.
Seventh Doctor.
I've been thinking about this. I think it's Battlefield. And
interesting.
I think I might, thinking about it, I might have wanted to give it a 10. Thinking about it, I think it might have been 10 worthy.
Retrospect, we do it right now, live.
Oh, here we go.
Are you going to do it? Do you want to?
Yeah.
It's a 10.
Yeah, I loved that one so much. And yeah, not just for having the Brigadier back, but again, just the story, the adventure of it. That's a running theme, I think. Yeah, much like Androids of Tara, this one just hit all the right beats for me, and I just absolutely enjoyed it thoroughly.
It's not one you would hear. That's an out there answer, I think.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it, and yes, as we've just done, I would give it a 10. Probably.
And your least favourite of this era would be Silver Nemesis or Ghostlight?
Silver Nemesis.
Okay.
Because that one's definitely not good.
Yeah.
Ghostlight was mostly just me being uncertain about it. I mean, yeah, although it's kind of alright seeing the Cybermen again, and Ace has some great moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad story. And yeah, maybe a 4 was a bit high, I guess. Maybe. Yeah, it was a weird one. And I definitely didn't like it. And then you absolutely despise it.
Yeah, this is my least favourite as well. From that era, for sure.
Yeah.
But my favourite from that era, between Curse of Fenric and Remembrance. If I can pick the Curse of Fenric Special Edition, I'll go with that.
I mean, it
that
is
the
story.
one we watched.
It just goes to show that Doctor Who has had many high points.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
Hopefully that gave you a kind of overview of what we've kind of thought of the entire thing. Obviously, we've nowhere near covered every single story.
No. No.
Everything from around Invasion of Time onwards, we pretty much had all of those as videos.
Yeah. Mostly good stories from before then, with obviously some standouts.
Okay, so some quick shout-outs then to some other favourites of ours. Aztecs is one of my favourites.
Okay.
Gunfighters, we both love.
Yeah, I mean, that one is debatable, is it, for some people?
Yes, absolutely. Power of the Daleks, we both love.
Yes, of course, that one was great.
Macra Terror, we both loved. Moonbase, we both loved.
That was almost a 10.
Enemy of the World, we both loved. Mind Robber, we both loved. Invasion. Spearhead, Ambassadors of Death. Mind of Evil. Terror of the Autons, yeah.
Time Warrior.
Time Warrior.
That was another one that I would watch.
I meant Time Warrior.
Yeah, that was another one that I would watch all the time. I think with Carnival, that's probably the most watched.
Genesis of the Daleks.
Classic.
Brain and Morbius. Seeds of Doom. Kinder.
Yeah, that was a great one too.
Yes, Remembrance. Greatest Show in the Galaxy.
Greatest Show in the Galaxy, yeah. Yeah, some of those weren't far from 10s for me. Like, Macra Terror and Greatest Show. Like, they're pretty close, but there's just I don't know, maybe one or two things that sort of stopped it from reaching that sort of level of, like, yes, this is one of my all-time favourites.
Sure.
You know.
So, coming up next, probably, I don't know. I have no idea. There'll be some video probably soon.
Yeah.
See you for it.
Alright, thank you. Bye.